because it seemed like you were using them all.
I felt like I had to. You got them for me.
Well, you didn't. You could have left one and shared that one.
Thank you. I take back my blame on you for hogging all the ketchup.
So what'd you think of the French fries?
They were good. I didn't have to add any salt.
Yeah, they were pretty salty. You like salt.
Yeah, they were very salty. Didn't feel like it got that much, as opposed to when you go to like a Valentine's or a Belle Province, you just get slathered.
Yeah, but that's because they're just making a ton of fries all day. And they're just like, here, fill up on fries. We don't want to give you any real food.
Yeah. But
plus, I heard on the news just yesterday, Matthew, you chose to ignore it, but it was on CBC. Apparently, you shouldn't be having more than 4 servings of potatoes a week. It's not good for your blood pressure.
I chose to ignore it yesterday, and I'm choosing to ignore it now.
But, I know you're a man who loves making a mashed potato. I'm sure you're not turning down a baked potato. French fries, you'll eat them up. You're a potato fiend.
Scalloped potatoes, twice baked potatoes.
Twice baked potatoes.
You know about those guys. But what else you got? You got so many different kinds of potatoes.
Oh, there's so much you can do with a potato, but maybe you shouldn't be. Maybe you should be switching some of those potato meals to steamed broccoli.
Well, no, they're saying 4 servings a day of potatoes. That's not going to work for me. Now, because their servings, Canada's guidelines for servings.
Serving's about the size of your fist.
That's not my serving.
Which is really 1, maybe 2 small potatoes. You shouldn't be eating more than 4 to 6 potatoes in a week, Matthew.
Whoa. Really? Because when I make mashed potatoes for myself, for supper,
yeah,
it is about 5 fists of potatoes.
That's your potatoes for the week.
But I eat that in one sitting. It's a big old...
How are you eating that much potatoes in one sitting? Or is there nothing else?
No. Then there's usually 2 little steaks and some vegetables.
You're eating 2 steaks and 5 potatoes for dinner?
Well, when you mash them, it's like scrambled eggs. You eat 2 or 3 eggs, but if you scramble them, you're eating 8 or 9.
What the hell are you saying?
What?
You're saying if they were sunny side up, you'd eat 2.
Yeah.
But since they're scrambled, who knows how much you're eating because you can't keep track of the yolks. So let's make it 9.
It dilutes the eggs. When you scramble, you add the milk, and then all of a sudden, what would have been 2 or 3 eggs.
How much milk are you adding when you make scrambled eggs, Matthew?
Not too much, just enough to maybe half a cup.
Half a cup?
Well, when I make 8 eggs.
Oh, when you make 8 eggs. Okay. Because I think for 2, you're supposed to use a tablespoon of milk.
Oh, well, I just do it until it gets to the right consistency for me. The more milk, the fluffier it is,
I suppose.
But yeah, I guess 8 eggs is a normal breakfast, right?
No, it's not. Wait, for one person?
Well, yeah.
Well, you wake up in the morning, you go, scratch yourself. You look in the fridge, you go, yeah, eggs today. You warm up a pan, you put some butter in there. Crack 8 eggs.
Yeah.
Grab the milk, pour half a container in there for your 8 eggs. Get a whisk it all up, and make one big 8-egg fluffy omelet, and that's breakfast?
Wow.
Is there a piece of toast?
Well, if I'm making the eggs, I'm going to make sausage, bacon, home fries, maybe
How
a
much
pancake.
Breakfast are you eating, Matthew?
Well,
you go out to a restaurant, you pay $15. They don't give you that much breakfast.
Well, no, my breakfast costs $30. That's why I only do it once a month.
Well, I guess so.
Once in a blue moon, maybe once a month is a little excessive. But when I do it, I eat the eggs right. Potatoes too. So when I eat potatoes, it's a good couple pounds on a plate.
I feel like I finally met the one person who has worse eating habits than me. I mean, for a long time, I was like,
who is
most days of the week, I'm just eating that one big meal.
Yeah.
You eat one giant meal. That's obviously not the way you're supposed to eat. Where I go, then I got to figure out 3 different meals. No, let's just do it once, get real full, get real sluggish for 3 hours. Then you bounce back and you're not hungry again for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy way to do things. I've gotten better. I'm at a two meal at least a day. Maybe a snack or a smoothie in there as well.
So who's worse than you?
You. You're me? You're eating 8 egg sausages and home fries and bacon all for breakfast. You're eating 5 potatoes as the side dish of your dinner.
Yeah.
How are you putting all this food in your belly?
Potatoes, there's no limit. There's no limit to how many potatoes a man can handle. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it.
Canadian Health Agency says otherwise.
Well, I don't know. I can't find a middle ground. It's either I eat 5 pounds of potatoes a night, or I go the other way and I just eat an apple and a granola bar.
Well, no. See, there's a happy medium. Make those 5 pounds of potatoes that you want to make, but ration it out throughout the week.
Ugh.
Where you just get like 1 scoop of mashed potatoes a night.
It's like I'm poor now. I'm living in a.
I think you are, because you're feeding yourself exclusively on mashed potatoes and scrambled eggs that you stretch out with milk.
I guess there was a potato famine, wasn't there? Does that mean there's not enough potatoes?
That's right.
There were not enough potatoes.
That's right.
See, I'm living the high life. I got all the potatoes I can handle.
Well, they were the Irish, and a potato is a cheap food, and Ireland just grew a lot of potatoes, and the financial situation with Ireland was so bad that they didn't even have potatoes. They had to leave. People were dying of starvation because they didn't even have potatoes.
Well, this bodes well for potato eaters, because what people live the longest? Irish.
That's not true.
It's not true. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it is not true. It would seem that the Italian and the Japanese live the longest. Maybe Chinese.
You're just saying the Italians because you are one of them.
No, I'm telling you. Well, first of all, I have 2 great-grandparents who died after the age of 100. And I believe the current reigning world's oldest person at 116 is also Italian.
All right.
116.
Yeah.
They were born in the 1800s.
116, but a life without potatoes is not a life worth living.
I'm going to disagree there.
Now, Sebastien, explain to me you have a bicycle? I mean, it's sitting right beside me.
Yeah.
I'm touching it right now.
I had to bring it up to tune it up for the summer.
And this is no doubt a tricycle.
I mean, it's advertised as a 3-wheel bicycle.
But that's a weird thing.
I mean, I feel like a tricycle has that like running board in the back, and those 2 wheels in the back are smaller.
You kind of have a running board. It's just a big basket.
I guess that's not untrue. That is not untrue. I mean, it's arguably a 3-wheel bicycle or an adult tricycle, I guess.
My grandmother has a very similar bike to this. And it's beautiful. And is your grandmother a child, Matthew? You know what? You've got me there. She is an old lady.
Check and mate.
All right. So kids and old ladies and Sebastien. You all can use this tricycle. And you know what? I'm poking fun at it, but it's a beautiful bicycle.
I think it's a pretty good looking
bike. It's a beautiful tricycle. Yeah, I even called it a bicycle. So,
there you go. Can't help it. It's contagious. You can't help. It's so good looking and so bike like. It's got 6 gears.
Yeah,
it's got 2 brake handles.
Everything you want out of it. I've ridden in the basket before.
That's right. Standing in the basket, not like some kind of small ET, because you know how I can't stand ET.
We're going to get into this ET business at one point.
I feel like we already have.
I want to delve deep into it. I want you to watch ET.
We'll save it for another time.
Yeah. But I've been in this basket, hands on your shoulders.
That's right.
Waving like the queen.
Yeah. You were elegant as a queen.
Yeah. It was a good time. I want to do it again with a scepter and a cane.
Oh, that sounds great. I feel like you need to win something, though, first.
Yeah. I can...
Anything, though. The standards on what you have to win are pretty low.
Good. We can give each other prizes if need be.
Keep in mind, there's a contest at the end of this episode.
Don't forget.
So, the reason why I originally got this 3-wheel bicycle is because I cannot ride a 2-wheel bicycle. And you know that, Matthew.
Yeah, I didn't know. You wanted everyone to know. You want everyone to know that?
It's just a fact of life.
It's out there. I guess you're 30. You can't ride the
30,
the 2
3 wheels, 1 wheel per decade.
That's true. Well, you never know. Not one. You didn't know how to ride a unicycle in the first 10 years.
That's true.
And a bicycle was never in your wheelhouse.
That's wrong.
Ooh. Is it?
I guess I never told you this part of the story. You know how they say that you never forget how to ride a bike? They're goddamn liars.
Oh.
Because at the age of 4 and 5, I was riding a bike eventually without training wheels. At 5 years old, riding a bike around, basically my yard with no training wheels. And then we moved to the suburbs, and my mom didn't want us riding bikes down the streets or anything. And I guess we didn't have our bikes anymore after the move. And we did get a Nintendo, so I was far less interested in going outdoors during the summer. I was far more interested in playing Super Mario. So I got very good at Super Mario and very bad at bicycling, to the point that maybe 5 years later, when I was like 9 or 10 and trying to ride a bike again, I wasn't going nowhere.
You just get right on, tip right over.
Pretty much. So
just no balance.
No balance.
Now, this might have something to do with your sister throwing doors at your head.
Well, this is separate. Okay, hold on. Okay.
I don't know.
We'll sidetrack and then we'll come back. Right. So there was one summer in like high school when my little sister wanted to go swimming, and my mother would never go swimming herself, and so she needed an older kid in the pool with one of the younger kids just in case.
Better have both die than just one.
Well, no, because one could maybe save the other, and my mother was just supervision. She's not really able to jump in and help. I don't think my mom could swim.
She wouldn't jump in to help you?
She tried, but I don't think my mom could swim. And so she'd never even get in the pool. She'd just like dip her feet in.
It's so strange. You had a beautiful home, a huge pool. You had a secret garden to the side.
It was an extra lot of land that my dad didn't want someone building things in,
and so he was like, I don't want someone. This is back to your father, giving you $100 for bread. This is how his mind works. He's like, I don't want someone building closer. So buy the plot.
He bought the plot of land.
It was covered in bushes, so
it was just grass, really.
Okay, well, yeah. It was just grass, but it was surrounded by a very tall hedge.
By cedars, yeah.
And you couldn't see through it. There's just a little opening, and it was a secret garden. I mean, I always said you should plant a lot of garden-like things to make it a secret garden. Really, you just had a hidden trampoline in there.
Yeah, we had a trampoline in like an extra yard that we didn't use for... All we used it for was mowing the lawn.
You just used it for keeping others out.
Yeah. For keeping the noise away. Eventually, my dad, when he sold the house, made a decent little profit on that extra piece of land.
Of course.
And the people who bought it from us bought that same plot of land for the same sort of reasons, and then eventually decided, let's have a building built here. So they had to deal with years of construction noise. Yeah. And my dad did not want to. He was like, I got this nice place. It's quiet here. Good.
I don't understand why you don't turn it into a secret garden.
Anyway, not the point. We're double sidetracked. Triple sidetracked.
If you
and so my sister wanted to go swimming, and so my mom said I also had to go swimming.
I just wanted to get to the hook of secret garden.
I did not want to go swimming because I just rented a Super Mario game. And so I was in the summertime just sitting in the basement working my way through a Super Mario and not wanting to go swimming. My sister got angry at the fact that she couldn't go swimming because I did not want to. So she threw a cabinet door at my head, just like a little TV unit thing, and the door fell off. And so she threw it. She just threw something at my head, whatever was nearby. And I was kind of angry that she threw a damn thing at my head. And, she left. She stormed out. And it was probably a minute later that I realized that things had gone awry because blood was now dripping onto the lens of my glasses. And I was like, this is a lot more serious than I thought. I'd even feel my head to that hurt, and rub my head. I was just like, let me get back to the Mario.
Well, yeah.
And then I saw that I was bleeding quite a bit. And I have a scar on my forehead to this day from that time that I didn't want to go swimming because I wanted to play Super Mario RPG.
Well, your sister couldn't go swimming, so...
That's true. I think she may have got punished as well. She may have also had to go to her bedroom after that.
Well, probably. I mean,